Bishop. Well, as most of you know, I play instruments. I love to learn new instruments, preferably the ones where you don't have to use a lot of air, such as a blowing instrument. I think I probably would faint if I had to play that. The other thing that I do like to do, I haven't done in a while, is I like to work on cars. Anything mechanical, small engine repair. I like trying to figure out, problem solve, that kind of thing. So that's a hobby that some of you probably may not even know that I like to do. All right, so my faith journey, as most of ours start way before we're even thought of. In my situation, I had an opportunity to be raised in a Christian home. I was adopted into that family. The way the adoption came about was my parents were stationed in Vietnam, and they had wanted to adopt. And one day they went to various orphanages to find out how that would look like, what that would look like, and how to go about doing that. And they went to one orphanage, found a baby boy that they were interested in, but the director of that orphanage wasn't there, so they were asked to come back later in the day. When they came back later in the day, they found out that because it was a Catholic orphanage, they weren't allowed to adopt babies to a non-Catholic family, which my mom and dad were not Catholic, or not Catholic. And so they weren't able to adopt that baby boy, but they said, we have this little girl that was just brought in, and they basically said, here, you take. And mom didn't have anything for a baby. They had to stop at the pharmacy to get diapers and bottles and things that they needed. They didn't imagine they would be walking away with a baby after visiting an orphanage. And that's where my faith journey began. Even though with that upbringing, I did choose to walk away from God. Most of it was, I didn't have a clear understanding of what a relationship was with God. The church that we were raised in had a lot of rules, and following those rules, and so I didn't understand what it meant to have a relationship with God. My relationship was with the church and how they viewed our walk. And so later in life, I realized that I couldn't do it without him. And he was faithful. He spoke to me at various times. He protected me during that time. And I know it was because of prayers from parents, loved ones, people that knew that that's what we need, is Jesus in our lives. And I was just going to quote a Christian comedian that I listened to when I was a kid. I don't know if any of you know, but his name is Mike Warnke. And one of the sayings I remember that he said is that if you have unsaved loved ones, don't give up on them. And he also had said that if you're trying to run from God, you'll run right into him. And if someone is praying for you, you just give up. Especially if it's your grandmother. Give up. Them little gray-haired ladies don't know how to shut up, so you might as well give up. And I'll never, I just like that saying because that is so, so true. And so I just want to encourage anybody that has loved ones that don't know Jesus or have chosen not to follow him, that just keep praying because God is faithful. So most recently, last year, I embarked on a journey that I never thought that I would have to do. And God was faithful. He was involved from the very beginning, from the surgeon that was involved, putting me with the right surgeon, putting me with the right people that could do the surgery that I needed. And as he gave me options, they were all kind of the same option, but there were options, and that was encouraging to know that there were other choices that I could make and have other options available to me for my surgery. He also put together people that were in place to take care of me afterwards. I stayed with my sister right after surgery for a couple of weeks, and as it worked out, they were working from home, and it worked out perfectly. This was like right before Christmas, and I think after the first of the year or shortly thereafter, they were having to go back to their offices. So it worked out perfect that somebody could be with me and be home. And I also had friends and family that came and stayed here with me and helped out. I'm so grateful for those people. And God is good. He's good all the time. He's good. And yeah, God is good.